This video is going to be a short walkthrough of some example tasks which will help you to prepare for your music theory exam and to familiarise yourself with the notation software which is used within it. So the first example task at grade 1 is to write a short phrase into a treble clef using eighth notes, 8-note rests, quarter notes and quarter note rests. So to do that, as you can see, we've got an empty bar here. If we want to add any notes in, we go to the note tab at the top here and click on the note value that we want to add in. So if I click on quarter notes here or eighth notes, you'll see the rests change to that value. So if we want to add some quarter notes, I've clicked on that and we can hover over and you can see different pitches here. So you click in on the pitches that you want to enter. And then if we want to change this one to eighth notes, go back up, click on eighth notes and come back. So now we've entered a few notes into the bar. If we want to change any of them to rests, you click on the note that you want to change to a rest and you can go up to the delete button up here and you'll see that in deleting that it changes it to a quarter note rest because we had a quarter note there before. And likewise, if I did the same for this note, it would change it to an eighth note rest because we had an eighth note there before. So the second example task at grade 1 is to write a short phrase which includes slur and staccato notation and then to try adding a accent to one of the notes as well. So if we first just start off by making sure that we're in the note tab at the top and then we've selected the note value that we want, so let's go for eighth notes or quavers here, and then if we hover over and click those in at the pitches that we'd like, we can do that. And then if we want to add any articulations to those, we can click on the note that we want to add them to, like that, and then go to the articulation tab at the top here. And here you can select to add an accent. So if you click on that, the accent will appear. If you click it again, it will go away. And then likewise for staccato notation there. And then if you want to add a slur, you can click on that just here and you'll see the line appear. If you do need to drag it out to different lengths, you can do so just by clicking and holding and dragging it along. The third example task at grade 1 is to write an ascending scale or arpeggio which uses accidentals, and then to try this descending and using a key signature instead of accidentals. So first off, if we wanted to add a key signature, we'd go into the measure tab at the top here and then you can see this key signature button here. So if you click on that, it will open up some options, and when I click on those, you'll see the key signatures adding into the score there. So I'll just go back and remove that key signature. So if we wanted to now add some notes into the score, go into the note tab again and select the note value that we want. So we're already on quarter notes there, so we'll use those. And then when hovering over, you'll see the pitches and you can click those into the score like this. Now if you get to the end here and there's an extra bar that you want to remove, you can go up to the measure tab at the top and click the minus button here. So in doing that, you'll see that extra bar go away. And then finally, if we want to add any accidentals to the score, we can go back into the note tab. Just make sure that we click on the note that we want to add the accidental to. So say if we want to add a flat to this note here, we've clicked on it and then we can click the flat button up here, which if you click on it multiple times will cycle through options until there's no accidental there. And then finally, if you want to remove any notes, you'd again click on the note that you want to remove. So I've clicked on that one and then go up to the cross button here and it will be replaced with a quarter note rest because we had a quarter note before. So the fourth example task at grade 1 is to write a chord using whole notes, and when doing that to make sure that all of the notes are stacked on top of each other. So to start off with that, we'll make sure that we're in the Notes tab and that we've selected the note value that we want. So we've gone for whole notes here, so we'll click on whole notes. And then hovering over the score, you'll see the different pitches appear. So I'll click in on a G note here. And then if I want to add more notes, you can click them on top like this. The fifth example task at grade 1 is to add a dynamic marking to a bar of music, followed by a crescendo or diminuendo. So we've got some notes written out here already, and to start off we want to click on the note under which we want the dynamic marking to appear, so let's go for this one at the start here. Once we've clicked on that, if we go up to the dynamic tab at the top here, click on this and then select the dynamic marking that you want to appear. So if we clicked here, then you'd see the F appear below the score. And then if we wanted to add a crescendo after that, click here, or a diminuendo, you click here. And then if you want to adjust the length, you can drag it like this. So the last example task at grade 1 involves inputting drum notation. So in your exam you'll be presented with a drum stave, but for the purpose of practicing this in advance, you'll have to select one. So if you go to this top button here, if you click on there and then manage instruments, if you go to add an instrument and then percussion and then drum set, and then we can now get rid of that treble clef from before. So get rid of that. And now you can see that we have a drum stave here. So first, if we wanted to add some 8th note hi-hats, what we could do is first make sure we're in the Notes tab, then that we've selected the note value we want, so we want 8th notes. And then when I hover over the score, you can see that when I click those in, they appear like that. Now for adding bass drum and snare, what we want to do is go to this voice button here. If you click on that and then click on use voice to, what that will do, will give you access to this lower voice here where you can input snare and kick drum notes so that the stems go in the right direction. So if we make sure we clicked on quarter notes here, if we want to add a bass drum note in, we can add a snare and another bass note. And then if we wanted to remove one of those, we can click on it and click the delete button up here. The backspace on your keyboard should also work. And then if we wanted to change the hi-hat to a quarter note, we'd have to switch back up to voice 1 where we've got access to these hi-hat notes. So let's click on that one there and then click on the quarter note or crotchet button here. If we do that, you'll see it change there.